Hey everyone, how is it going? Miss me? I see Dell in the house already. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Back for a watch along. Hopefully, guys, you can get the chance to watch this Athlos meet. It seems interesting. It's streaming on ESPN Plus. If you're in the United States, it's also streaming live on their X account. So get on the screen, watch it. Come talk about it. Right, lots to talk about with track and field. I was planning to watch this event, so as usual, we come, we talk, and we have a little bit of fun, right? And there's a lot of things still happening in track and field, as many of you know, and so we can touch on that as well. First thing up on the track will be women's 100-meter hurdles, an exciting field there as well. I'm pretty much intrigued to see what Masai Russell will do. Not necessarily having the greatest of season in terms of putting a medal around her neck, but everything else worked fantastically well for her in terms of the times this season. Megan Tapper, final race of the year. Unfortunately for her, she was having such a lovely season. Didn't get an opportunity to run at the World Championships. So yeah, lots to cover. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. We have some new videos on the channel too. If you haven't seen it, we put out a chat with Tim Adams after kind of reflected on his time there in Tokyo. So if you haven't caught that yet, make sure you get a chance to look at it. But I think they're doing some introductions here for the athletes. I think that's Alicia Johnson, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. No, this is good. I mean, this is like kind of a interesting way to come on. Uh, really kind of a fireworks kind of atmosphere. I like it. Whatever sells track and field, I'm up for it. uh Fastest time in the world this year was obviously Messiah 12:17. I'm not sure if any of these athletes are in that kind of shape. Megan Tapper coming through right now, 12:34, her best this season. Stellar season so far, in terms of probably getting to the world championships, and then she had an injury and had to pull out. So yeah, that's never good. But we'll have Grace Stark too, who also got onto that medal podium in Paris this year, in Tokyo this year rather. Tania Marshall. I mean, she was also having a great season this year. 12:24. Unfortunately, didn't make the U.S. team. And Devon Charlton and Grace Stark should be in the race as well. Yeah. I want to say hi to everybody. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. We also have another live coming up on this weekend. Leighton and I are going live on Sunday just to kind of unpack some stuff. But as this goes through, anything you want to talk about, I'm down for it. Uh, Particularly any kind of news in track and field. There's some interesting stuff. Femke Bol deciding to take the 800 meters onward. Very excited for that. Lots to talk about there. Yeah. Masai Ross is stepping through right now. I like it. I think the way they're doing this is interesting. I hope this works out. I guess Sunny is back. But I think Amila is probably going to take a little bit of a time to kind of walk through. There's not a lot of events tonight. There's the 100-meter hurdles, women's long jump final. Last night they had that thing in Times Square, which was pretty much like a heat. And the long jump final takes place in about 10 minutes. It was supposed to be top three, but I think Jasmine Sawyers was added back because of an issue with some recording there. There's also women's 100 meters on track in about 20 minutes. Jassia Sears there, Talou Smith, Brittany Brown in the mix, John L. Smith from Jamaica. Offer her a good leg on that 4x1. There'll be 800 meters, women's mile rather, 200 meters, 400 meters. We probably don't need a women's in front of it because it's a women's event. It's all women tonight. Yeah. Yeah. If you knew who was going to win this year, I guess you'd also be prophetic because, as usual, the it's tough. It's a kind of clean start there. Devon Charlton looks good. Also, Megan Tapper, but I think Masai Russell is coming in there again with Grace Stark. It's a Masai Russell ahead of Stark, it looks like. 12:53 is the flash time. It's above the limit win. Get the results up. So Russell takes it in 12:52 ahead of Stark. 1260, Johnson 1266, Charlton 1271, 1288 for Marshall, and 1292 for Tapper. Looking at it again, I mean, it's, Stark doesn't look as good as she would normally. Still motoring there. Better hurdling from Masai. I don't know if we should really take into account any of the what kind of performances you'll get. It's late. It's mid-October. The season's been over for a bit now. I don't know how much training has been going on. This seems probably residual from a longer season. Charlton went out well. Also, Mega and Tapper went out decent too. But as soon as they got into about 50, 60 there, it was all Masai Russell ahead of Stark. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, that was good. Next thing on the track is not coming up for a little bit, but so there's a lot to talk about. So if you want to talk about anything, I'm down for it. I think they're getting good views though on their stream, at least on their free stream. So that's good. Sold out stadium. I think at the start they were talking to Serena Williams, who had Dawn Harper is on the set too. But Serena gave Shelley and Fraser Price a crown, which was kind of a fitting achievement for the greatest 100-meter athlete in my mind. And yeah. So yeah, this is the thing about these kind of meets is it's interesting in a sense. There's a delay. It kind of feels like Grand Slam feel as well in terms of how many things they have on track. I'm okay with it right now, but as a television spectacle, one of the things that why track and field works well, and even when you're in there, is that it's just events going back to back. So uh, they're removing the hurdles off the track right now, and there's really nothing to take your attention and a bit of chatting right now. But yeah, yeah. I'm probably gonna try and listen to this thing. I don't know what they're saying. Yeah, yeah. What else you guys been up to? Been watching other sports. Well, Serena is out there. She's about to give out a crown from Tiffany. I know a lot about Tiffany. My wife likes it. But Messiah Russell will get a crown. So I guess they're interviewing her as well. I guess Messiah is saying she was trying to say focus, which is good. mean, the production value for this is good. I mean, I don't know how much money they're spending here, but I think they're running on like a little bit of a deficit for the first few years, but he has the money. All right, so there's kind of an interesting medal ceremony here. A crown. It's different from the regular medals. It's like Tara Davis Woodall there. I think Masai is kind of entertaining the crowd. There's a DJ. Serena's dancing. I'm not sure I know these kind of dances, but hey, someone likes it, and if they do, that's good. Oh, I thought that was Tara Davis. It's not. Shock for all says after the men's 4x4 relay, a Botswana athlete said, Botswana, okay, said something negative about the U.S. team, and it seemed like South Africa agreed with them. I what wh- uh what happened? I don't know if I know all of that details. Track for all, like you'd have to refresh my memory on the what was the comment. I don't remember what the comment was. Yeah, or if I don't I can't recall seeing it. Yeah. I really don't really know why there's I guess sports has heated rivalry. I don't know if there's a rivalry. The US generally doesn't have a rivalry in 4x4, but in this context, I think it's something is coming through, right? You know, in the sense that what the Botswanans were able to do was interesting. And the way they wanted to, I reflect on it as not the way I thought they would have. I thought they would have been out there leading, not that they had to fight in the end to win it, which made the race one of the great spectacles of the championship and a very fitting way to be one of the closing events of Tokyo. When I think about the death of the Botswanan team right now in terms of the quality of the athletes, they'll be around for years to come. The US will always be there because they just consistently produce a lot of high quality quarter milers. South Africa as well. You think if Wade sticks around, if they all get it together, it should be competitive. And I like it because in sport you need rivalries, you need people to compete with each other. And if everybody wins this all the time, and especially a big nation that has a lot more resources, sometimes it can get a bit boring, if that's for lack of a better word. It's kind of a reflection here of the long jump yesterday in Times Square, which I think is a fantastic event that they put on there. I'm always in favor of having events in the middle of the stadium. When they did the long jump some years in the mall, Diamond League a few times as well got onto that kind of stage. I like it. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, if you refresh me, I don't really know how to kind of unpack that track for all. I mean, maybe it was something that was said in the call room. I don't know. If you can give me more details, then I can think through it. But I, yeah, hopefully people don't have bad blood, but they just need to move and do well. The long jump final is gonna take place soon. They've just introduced them. Interesting. Jasmine Sawyer is there. Tara Davis, Burks, and Jasmine Moore. It's high quality field there. It was supposed to be top three, but it's not top three here. And then after that, the 100 meters in about 13 minutes or so. Yeah. Oh, okay. So they took they took okay. So in the call room, he said he didn't want the U.S. to win a medal. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. That seems pretty mild in terms of a confrontation. I don't know. Yeah, I I don't know. I mean, in the call room, people say some weird stuff too. It's usually you don't always see in there, and there's always the tales from the call room. Uh, if it was like in their face, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. Look, best believe people would be upset about not winning, especially if you're from the US. So they'll come back at the next World Championships. They have the World Championships, they have LA. It's Yeah, they have more depth. So it's a different kind of a setup. But I think the Botswana guys are here to stay for sure. Kibinet Shepi is saying that is he's about to he's thinking about breaking the world record. Sawyer's there. I just kind of paused for a bit to watch Jasmine go into the pit. I thought she adjusted late in the run up, almost like she was slowing down. So I'm not quite sure. Let's see. This looks like a makeshift long jump pit here. So this is like 620. So it's 622. So it's not particularly far jump, but I don't know what to expect in terms of performances at this stage. Yeah. Jasmine more strengthening, also adjusting on the before the board, but it looks like a legal jump. Certainly a bigger jump. It's 651. So Quenisha Burks is up next, and then Jasmine Sawyers. Yeah. Are you guys watching? Hopefully, you guys are getting to see the meet. It's available free to air. So on their X account, they're streaming it. Uh, what time do you think we're gonna get from him in 2026? Peter Ball? I don't know. That's a good question. I thought he could have been a sleeper this year, and he didn't make it through. Uh, let me just watch this. Uh, I don't know if that's a better jump than Burks, in the front than Moore rather. It's like 609. That's not a particularly good jump. Uh, I don't know, to be honest with you. What I will say is that I think the bar has been set in an interesting way for the 800 meters. You have to be running 141s if you want to get on a podium. You could run 141 and not get on a podium, which is problematic. Oh, Femke. Oh, sorry. I really missed it. Thank you for that. Yeah, you meant Femke, yeah. You see, this is how my head is all over the place. What time I think she's gonna run? I have no idea. I actually, let's see. I don't. That's a good question. I mean, she's a 49 athlete over 400 meters. I think she could probably run 48 change as well. Um, Let me see Jasmine Moore first. Not Jasmine Moore, rather Tara Davis Woodall. That might be the biggest one for the day. Yeah. So that's 665. That's a little bit better than Jasmine Moore's jump. Yeah, my bad. I mean, I totally uh, brain farted on that. I don't know how much she can get down in one season, but I suspect she has to run. She's gonna need to put some mileage on that body for sure. Uh, I know she's quick enough. It's just a matter of how they can actually uh, pace at this kind of a level. I would suspect that she might run a 156 next year. I think that's it's capable. I think she's capable of that. 157 would be a good benchmark, I imagine. But knowing Femke, she has the ability. She's quick. It's just about maintaining that speed and understanding how to run that event against the at this level. But in terms of a ceiling, I think those ceilings are interesting because you see what Keely just did recently. You see Linnea Adira. We see George Hunter Bell running 154 as well. I do think that maybe that 153 may be in sight. It's possible the world record could be up for grabs in a few years. I'm not calling it yet, but yeah, I like Femke doing this. I would love to see uh Sydney make that move too. I think Sydney over 800 meters would be also fabulous as well. Especially, she could try a 4-8 double. That would be interesting. Yeah. Dell says she has endurance though, multiple races at both Olympics and Worlds. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad move for Femke. I think it's a better move than going to the 400-meter flat because that's a tough space. If you're gonna be in the mix at the 400-meter flat, that means you gotta start running very low 48s. And we saw two women this year for first time in 40 years go sub 48. Yeah, you could transition, have a great season, run 48-20, and not get on a podium because we have NASA. It's stuck there. The 800 meters for me still is a really competitive space. Uh, However, you might make some headway there. People are gambling. Look at Hunter Bell gambled this year for the 800 meters, and next year is probably going to be an interesting year, and it will get competitive again moving forward. I imagine Duguma will get back to her best. Who knows if Athing decides to run it again and get back to her best. So I expect it not to be an easy space, but I think for Femke it might be an easier space than say tackling the 400 flat. That's just after how I'm thinking about it right now. I mean, it will clearly change. The Kenyans are back with 800 meters. Uh, I just feel like we, yeah, you don't really know what happens when an athlete changes and transition to another event. Some athletes do it seamless. I mean, Sydney McLaughlin did it, but she's a special athlete. Femke also is a special athlete, not quite as special as Sydney, but she's been in spectacular form. I suspect she's probably bored of the 400 meters too, hurdles rather. That would be only my take. I don't really know. I'll try to find out because she's uh she what is it? She's now won a couple world championships. She's she I don't think she can get the world record. So or she would have to work extremely hard to come up close to the world record. So I really don't know. I think 800 meters is interesting space, but she has to be prepared to run 154 and better. And that sounds crazy talk, but 154s is where you probably need to be in the medal. Three women were on the medal podium in Tokyo running 154.6, 154.9, and 154.91, right? So championship record there for Lilian Odira, which broke also a very long-standing record, one of the oldest records on the books too, in terms of time by Jarmila as well. So it was a sensational year. Sarah Moore ran 155 and didn't make the podium. When I spoke about this before, and we were like, every time I reflect on this, Jessica Hall ran 157 and could not make the podium and finished dead last rather. So it's I don't know what to say. And 800 meters is stacked too in terms of talent. You think about Vero and others. And if you watch my interview with Tim Adams, he was saying that when they spoke to Hunter Bell, if uh, the suspension to the Ethiopian athlete there, Welteje, if that had come much earlier, maybe she would have gone back into the 1500 and not go for the 800. And so it's interesting. Truck Fall says that sounds crazy running low 48 and not it does sound crazy, but I think that's the new reality. And every time people set the bar and change the standard, you have to react to it. I just as simple as that, to be honest with you, because I mean NASA ran what 48.19 in the final, behind 47.98, and behind Sydney's championship record of 47.78. Yeah, so she got on the podium, but if you drop another person, it's gonna be, it's gonna be, it's interesting, right? Like, so Femke could go run a 48.5 or 48.4 or 48.3 and not medal. So I think going in the 800 might be an interesting direction. Mark, how are you doing? Femke still has the 500 indoor. NASA tried to break it this season, but came a few seconds short. Yeah, that is true. It's an interesting kind of race. No, I think she'll be successful. I want to make this clear. I think Femke running, I like it. When you look at her body type, it's a good, it looks like it will work. She's a tall athlete. It's like what, 6 foot and change or 6 foot somewhere there. Uh, I think she will certainly lose some muscle structure doing this because that's how it works. But she can do it. And I'm excited to see what happens. I would not be shocked if she ran 155, 154 next season. To be honest with you, certainly in a one-off race. It's just that we'll get to see, right? When we saw her a couple years ago, and I know you mentioned the 500, but I was really impressed when she broke the indoor world record for 400 meters. And part of me felt like she should have tried to run the flat four. Didn't do it, but now they're making a shift here. Is there any more details? Because all I saw was the video. Are there any more details around kind of the reason why she decided to do the 800? It was a kind of a cool video. It's like a new challenge. She started to show some stuff on the books or so, but that she wrote. Yeah. Anyway, up on the track is gonna be the 100 meters. Has Janelle Smith from Jamaica, who ran a really good uh, relay leg there. Sears from the United States, injured again this season, but good to see her finally finishing out the season well. Brittany Brown, who is more of a 200-meter runner. Talus Smith and White, Kayla White too, also had a good season. Didn't quite pan out in the end, maybe the way she wanted to. And Zoe Hobbs from New Zealand too, their national record holder. It'll be an interesting run. Yeah. Track for us says, I'm looking forward to seeing Nikisha Price the next 3 years grow into the 400. I hope so too. I really hope so. Every time we talk about this, and I speak to Leighton about it, and the kind of insights that he gets on that, because I don't know, I don't really know the camp that she's with really well. So, or I don't have any kind of trading knowledge there. But the expectation is that she's gonna come good, right? The talent is there. We've seen it. You don't run 48 seconds if you're not good. She had some illness and some setbacks, but she'll be. I think she'll build and hopefully get better. She tastes the final of the World Championships. Didn't finish the way she wanted, but still ran under 50 seconds, 49.97. That is that will probably fuel uh the tank. Is like something to look forward to, motivation. You think about getting to the next World Championships and then the Olympics. She's at the right age profile. If the seasons go well, I think she'll be fine. But 800 meters is also a tough space, as we mentioned before. Talking about those big three out there already. I think Bukovic is still in the mix. You think about Amber Anning, Henrietta Jager is still around. And then you even think about Bella Whittaker and those athletes who never made a final, but have the ability. Uh, will we get back a fit Rashidat Adalike? Yeah, there's a lot to think about there. Let's see what this 100-meter looks like. I don't. I'm not anticipating any real fast times. If they break 11 seconds, I'll be shocked, given that it's this late in the season. But you never know. It's kind of a clean start there. And Zoe Hobbs there and Wyatt. Talu looks like she's struggling a little bit. And Brittany Brown is coming through. And it's going to be Brown. It is Brown ahead of Sears. 10.99. It was 11 seconds flat, but no, 10.99. So I take it back. They did break 11 seconds. So 10.99 for Brown. Sears 11.01. White 11.22. 11.23 for Smith. Talu Smith. Janelle Smith 11.24. Hobbs 11.30. Yeah. Hey Sonny, what's up? I just thought I would just come do a watch along for this. I know people can watch it elsewhere, but that's never the point. Yeah. Hopefully you're doing well. Yeah. Not quite the greatest 100-meter form, but I'm not here to critique any of that. Sears got out well. She was well in the lead, kind of extending that drive face, almost like she was falling over. And then Brittany Brown got into her running and finished well. And as many know, Brittany Brown doesn't necessarily have the most aesthetically pleasing running technique, but she's an Olympic medalist, so it doesn't really matter. All right, so it's like a very tight race there, but uh, Brown for the money. Mark says, I really believe both 800 world record and women will be broken within a few years. I agree on that too. I was texting some people today and I was talking about this. Here's what I'm gonna say before I get back to the 800 meters. I'm going on. I did. This is not a surprise or anything, but I do believe that the world records in the 15 to the 10,000 and even the marathon on the women's side, I believe those will be broken repeatedly in the next decade. It's just going to happen. And I probably at this stage will start to put the women's 800 meters. So I'm going to say the 800 all the way up to marathon for women will be broken repeatedly. Uh, n- the reasons are pretty clear, and I always start with the structural reasons. It Women didn't run those events for a very long time, so there's a clear gap to catch up on that. We have your sports science, we have your improvement in the wearable technologies and all that stuff, and that helps with individual training. Part of sports science, the shoes on the road, the spikes, the gels in the long distance that no longer cause stomach upset, the bicarb using in for the 800 meters. It's happening, and then clearly people are pushing barriers, and when you push barriers, everyone has to step up and react to them. And if you react to them, you maybe push up on against it. So I do think the world record will go. I think the 800 for men for sure should go. It's a matter of time to me. I think it's on borrowed time. And I'm saying that with a straight face because I never thought that this quickly after David Rudisha's fabulous night in London that we'd be talking about the world record going. But Wanyoni for sure, I think he's front of the pack to break the world record, especially given his age, if he stays healthy, if everything works out well. But 800 meters, as we know, for men and women, are just stacked, right? 4 men last year and 142 or better, and only 3 of them got on the podium in Paris. And this year again, we're thinking about high quality athletes, right? The Raps, Sajati, everything. So people are coming. There was an interesting stat earlier this year. If you go back to 2022 or so, 142 was like probably the fastest time in the world for men. And this year, I think about 20 to 25 men ran faster than 143 this year. So the averages are going up in terms of the times there. The At the very elite too, the times are also hovering into these 140 low 141 places, and that's something that will only make everybody go faster and want to go faster. So I agree on that. Track for also, do you think Van Niekerk will go back to open 400 after the leg and after not doing well in the 1 and 2? I would hope so. I have no information at the moment to suggest otherwise. I don't believe he should have left the 400 meters. I also understand that athletes don't particularly like the training work for that. I don't understand the flirtation with the 200 meters. That never sat well with me, especially when you do a calculation across the field and you look at, if you were just even to look at the big three from last year, and you're thinking about Kung Fu Kenny, Noah Lyles, let's see Bogo, right? And then now you start to put a Brian Level in the mix, and there's going to be other athletes. That's not the space you really want it to be in. But having said that, too, the 400 meters over the last how many years have been stacked too, right? None of the medalists from Paris made it made it to Tokyo, right? I mean, some of them were there, some were injured, right? So that is also a very competitive space. However, the kind of outstanding leg he ran for South Africa on that 4x1, that would give confidence, and hopefully he changes his mind and run some 400 meters. He's getting to that stage where the career is getting to a point that it might come to an end soon. And it's one of the outstanding athletes that we never quite got everything out of because of injury, but that is the state of sport. Sometimes you just don't get all that you desire. But he did give us a few good years of outstanding runs. And I still think he has it in him. So I would love to see him go back to the 400. Yeah, if he was trying to 4-2, I would even prefer it. He has no business in the 100 meters for sure. But you don't get to decide. That's the thing. We don't get to decide. Hopefully everybody's doing well. I'm going to try to catch up on this long jump here, right? Because Sawyers is coming up here. because Woodall Davis is still in the lead, 665, ahead of Moore 651. Sawyers did a 622 and Burks 609. So Sawyers again here coming down. I don't think I actually they're not giving a good angle anyway, so I can't see the board, at least on the first run. It's almost seems like she's adjusting, but I don't know. That's behind the board there. That's 665 in the first, so it's not a good jump. It's 581 measured for the second. So I don't know. Vibrating highest says Brittany Brown won the 100. No, yeah, she did. It was a good look. I mean, we just talked about it a little bit a while ago. Uh yeah, Brown ahead of Sears. It was a pretty good run, especially this time of the year. And I can put the results back up. I'm sure you guys saw it if you're watching the live stream from Athlos, but it's 1099 and it's a 1.4 win, so it's a legal win ahead of Sears. So $60,000, pretty good. This is now interesting talk here. Uh, Cam 15ish. What are your thoughts on Rye Benjamin possibly switching to the 2-4? 4 I get, 2 I'll have to see. 4 I get for sure. I think Rye Benjamin has the ability to go sub 44. How low can he go? I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think we're looking at an athlete that if he made his mind up, he's quick. He's very comfortable over the 400 meters. He's run it before. He's always important cog on the United States leg. Might say something otherwise after the World Championships, but the word was he was partying. Uh, I I think he can run 4 if he wanted to. My question to Rai would be, do you want to try to go sub 46 in the 400 hurdles, right? So now you've done something special, you've won the Olympics, you've gotten a world title. Whatever we used to think about, you're certainly still there. When I had looked at the landscape a few years ago, I thought once Varham starts to decline, then it would have been DeSantis who would take over. But he also has some injuries. I like DeSantis a lot. I think he has the ability to do something special. He's still young. He's the youngest of all of them. And I'm still not quite sure if Varham is done because to run 46:28 coming into the championship, it was kind of striking that it didn't really work out in the end. I don't think to finish the point, if he wants to try the 400, I think it's cool. I'm not, I'm okay with it. If the 400 rather, if he tries the 200, I'm not sure what the point of that is. It's not going to be like it can't be something he's going to do as a new event. Yeah. Burks here, 615 in the second round. Average Joe, what's up? Rye says he says Rye just trying to work on his speed development. He's still run the 400 hurdles. You mean he'll still run? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Uh yeah, I think 26 is a year that we will see athletes try a couple things. We haven't had a year like this for a very long time because of the pandemic and all those the push off of the Olympics into the next year and the subsequent we're just having major championships year after year after year. So finally athletes get a chance to do interesting stuff. Right? They still have to earn. Many of them still have to earn. So when I say do interesting stuff, also it tends to be the athletes at the topper end of the scale where they have really good contracts, they have good money, they have good endorsement deals. They could potentially play around with some events. There's an opportunity this year. Let me just look at Woodall Davis here motoring down. Oh, that looks like a big jump there. That is a big jump. I wonder how big that is. I think that's 682, so that's much bigger than the one before. So, so to finish the point on 26, yeah, we'll see athletes do things because it won't necessarily impact them. Rye running the 400 or running 200s next year won't do anything for, but probably good stuff for his 400-meter hurdles if and when he decides to go back to it. Average Joe says, uh, do you think Femke's decision to run 800 will pay off? I don't think she'll medal. So that's, we kind of mentioned that early on. I was trying to think through it, and I think we'll have a bigger discussion on this again on Sunday with Leighton too. But I can't see the future that far to know if she can medal, right? So first you have to see her running. If we go by what we saw this year, three women on the podium: 154.62, 154.90, 154.91. Other people running 155s, 157, he finished dead last. That and that's a final where there's no I think Mo if she decides to take it seriously and run. Uh there's a shot to Shakara Richardson here. There's no Dugama, in terms of that. So we're Prudence Segadiso had an interesting semifinal outing. It just didn't work for her. So to get to that level of a medal, you have to work hard. And I think she's capable of running really fast. I think if she takes her mind to when you look at what Femke has done before and you look at the 400 meters that she is capable of running, you got to like her chances. I would suspect that if she run maybe four or so event 800 next year, we'll get a 155 at least out of one of them. Probably get some 157s and yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. I'll get a sense. Vibrating High says General Smith 800,000 JMD, Megan 400. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy the athletes are getting some money and by all of the indication they get it right away. So yeah, that's good for them. Yeah. No, it's good. Yeah. I forgot what the praise. So it's what six. It was 60K for the for winning, right? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if anybody's watching it, to be honest with you. Vibrating High. I'm watching it for sure here. Yeah. It's available. So a lot of people watching it. Keely Hutchinson. This is going to be a hot 800 meters, because the lineup for that is coming up in a second. I'll just put it up on the screen. So you got Keely Hutchinson, Hunter Bell, same training camp, Trevor Painter, Jenny Meadows there. Maloney, even, yeah, I forgot to talk about Maloney too. She last year was good, and then this year was a tougher year for her. And so I think the 800-meter space is just it's crazy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't know how fast we'll get here. I suspect we probably get a 158. We should get a 158. I don't think these distance athletes always run anyway. So unless they went on vacation, I think we should get something nice here. Nakai is here too. Natalia Gould, Toppin, Maloney, and Richards. It's a good quality field to get Hunter Bell and Hutchinson in the same race, and Maloney and Nakai. I like it. I like it. Mark says, "Watch Femke and learn." No, I think it's gonna be good. Yeah, I don't want to put limits on it. Yeah, I think 150. I think she'll run 155 next year at least, and maybe faster. Yeah. Vibrating says you think 2 minute about 2 minutes will win. Possible. Uh, Other people are watching. Track says he can't rewind. Interesting. Can't I don't know if can you rewind on ESPN Plus? At first, I had it on ESPN Plus, but then I'm just watching it straight from their stream. I mean, these guys have so many media people out here. It's interesting. Vibrating. It's chilly out. Oh yeah, I forgot to check the temperature. What's the temperature in NYC? Oh, it's 58 degrees. Whoa, that's freezing. That's not good weather at all. That is definitely not good weather. Do you think I think Mo will be back in the mix? I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I hope so because it's a talk about talent. I mean, if she likes the life in LA, she can just in California, she can just switch to her college coach. He's out. He's there now. So if she decided that she would call it quits with Bobby, maybe someone earlier this year had said that maybe she needs to go in a 800-meter group or have more people running 800 meters. It would be cool if Sydney McLaughlin decided to run the 800 meters, and both of them. It would be neat, right? I don't know. Vibrating is saying, I guess her heart isn't in it. Yeah, people are saying that. She says otherwise. You have to believe the athlete when they say otherwise. I hope so. It's been a tough couple of years for her. So I hope she gets back to where she wants to be. So yeah, they're introducing the athletes there. Emily Richards just came out. Shafika Maloney there from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Shout out to those people there. Some blackfish, I guess. Is it blackfish? No. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah. Natalia Gould just came out there. Uh, it's a shame because I think he's immensely talented. Vibrating higher saying that from the comment section. Yeah, it is. It's one of those things. Thing about high performance and elite competition is that everything has to go right. So you hope she gets back to where she need. So Nakai there coming out. Hunter Bell steps on the track. And Keely Hutchinson comes out. I don't know if she's gonna win tonight, but we'll see. I swear on everything I had this year that she was gonna win after she ran that when she came out this year, and I know Odera was running really well, but I didn't anticipate that. Yeah, I was just trying to reflect on that semifinal too, because I needed to check the numbers again. Yeah, so the semifinal number two in Tokyo again. because Nakai had run 157.79. Yeah. Dugama ran 157.70. Couldn't make it into the final. Herta Kleka ran 150, 157.62. Yeah. So you had to run 157.60 and better to get it. All right, it's 800 meters and on track. Let's see what we get, how fast they go around in these chilly conditions. Yeah, but it's one of those things. Okay. So it's like, so Hutchinson and Hunter Bell are actually taking the pace right now. Natalia Gould right behind them. And also Maloney and Nakai. So there's a bunching of athletes here. So they go through at like 157, 156.65. So that's not particularly quick, but the conditions are not the greatest. So Gould is trying to hang with Hunter Bell there, but Keely is the one still kicking the pace here. Yeah. Vibrating says, great looking track meet. I can't wait until they start the team's portion next year. No, for sure. I think so. I like it. I think it's innovative and he certainly has the money. Keely Hutchinson is like tearing away now. She has like a good 10-meter lead now. And she's gonna win this by a canter. Maloney's coming there. Hunter Bell is trying to hold on for the silver, but Keely's gonna win this. Whoa, 156.54. My God. In this kind of weather. That is crazy running. 156.53 for 156.53 for Keely Hutchinson. The results are coming through. Let me share that. 158.33 for Hunter Bell. Maloney 158.57. Gould topping 159.01. Four women under 2 minutes. Crazy run. 156.53 is a big run. Just opened up on them right there. Average Joe said, Keely mad at Tokyo. Probably. I don't know. You can't really necessarily make it up here, but she's probably like, I'm gonna take that 60K. Probably wants that money. Didn't run a lot this season for sure. She's not short of money though, but who's gonna turn on 60K? Uh Very interesting. Big run there. Well, if they're running these type of times, what we're gonna get from the women in the mile? Now I'm kind of hating that the 400 meters are gonna be the last thing on the track because the temperatures aren't great. Mark says Sydney's more a sprinter. She'll do 2 for next season. Don't see her do the 800. I know. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think Sydney could run an 800 if she wanted to. I think she could. I think she would run it well too. I think Sydney's like one of those athletes that can actually run everything. I mean, one might be a challenge given how difficult that space is, but yeah. Vibrating, you out there counting money in JMD. I don't even know how to. What's the exchange rate? Like 153 or something like that. One. Sydney probably can run 20 sub 20. Oh yeah, I think yeah. Sydney is yeah. If she puts if she got into that space, she would run really fast. Whether or not she would win, I don't know. That I think that might be a tough question. But she's yeah, pretty good. Yeah, because a couple of years ago she ran at 200 meters. She was very close to sub 22. It was like 22. I have to check. I think 7 or 4. Yeah, I think it was 2207 in a year ago, right? And it was pretty good. I'm trying to remember. I was in an airport when I watched that, so I'm trying to remember where I was. Yeah, Serena is about to give the crown to Keely. It's the only thing I would change in a meet like this. Uh, I would speed up the events, but I understand what they're doing. Uh it takes a lot of money to put this on. Well, that's not true, really. I think Serena said to Keely, "It's not how you start, it's how you end." But you know how you ended was at the World Championships, and that's where not quite at this meet. I think should have rather ended well at the World Championships. Yeah, she ran 2207 some years. In 24, I believe. Uh, and no one, yeah, vibrating. I would never ever doubt Sydney. Average Joe, do you think Femke is underestimating these 800 women? I don't think so. I don't know Femke to be. She seems like a humble woman. I mean, to be honest with you, and everything I've heard, and I haven't talked. I talked to a Dutch journalist some years ago, so I don't remember exactly, but I, from what I understand, she's very grounded, and so I don't think she would do this. I so put it this way, I think she's very confident. I think she'll come in there thinking that she can mix it amongst the very best. But I don't think she's gonna come out and say, "I am gonna be the very best" right away, because I don't believe that's her style. She'll let the legs do the talking, and we'll see. Uh, Sydney sat in the blocks, point 0.5 reaction time. Yeah, vibrating. It's on American TV. They have to get the ads in. Yeah, that's true. It's also yeah, you're right. It's on. It's but yeah, but we can get a little more feed events. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. Yeah. Average says, who do you think will take over 400 hurdles with no Sydney or Femke? I mean, Jones looked good this year. That's also another project there for Joanna Hayes. Let me look at this long jump. I don't know how far that is. That looks like a good jump. Uh, let's see what that jump looks like. Jasmine Moore did it. That's a 630, 636. So it's all right. Yeah. Vibrating also says Anna Cockrell. I think Anna Cockrell in the mix as well. Sutherland, you have to wait to see this year. She had a great collegiate season but never never really worked out subsequently. So let's see what we get next year. Yeah. Anna Cockrell also is is an interesting uh athlete. I think she has the ability to. So we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of athletes that kind of push through that we don't know about. It'll probably make the event a bit more exciting too, but we have to wait and see. I would put my money on. I'm not putting my money on anybody, but I would say the likes of Cockrell should be there. The likes of of Jasmine Jones, you know. So we'll see. You know, the Slovakian athlete ran that national record there. What was it, like 53 flat in the final? You never know, right? Woodruff ran really well in the semifinal, and she finished outside the medals too. So there may be some people there. Whoa, that's a bigger jump there from Tara Woodall Davis. I don't know if I don't know how far that is. Let's see. Yeah, that's 713. My God, you can't be serious there, Tara. That's a big jump. 7 meters 13. That's a huge jump. Look at that. Tara always finds the jump. And the win was like 0.12. Big jump right there. That is a massive jump. That's a big jump. I'll get back to your comments in a second. Let's see. No, it's 30, not 730. It's not 730. 713. Yeah. If 730 would be ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Mark. I think Zapta Telova should also improve as well. Yeah. I think she's saying she's happy about our dreams came through from long jumping in Times Square last night. And yeah, I know it's great. That's a big jump. I think that has to be the world lead or equal in the world lead, right? Yeah. Next up on the track after that will be the women's mile. This is gonna be good. Really good run here. Freeway Halo in the mix. Nikki Hiltz, Ejor Sanders, Gudaf Sagai, Faith Kipiegan, and Rebecca Okan. I don't know who that. I can't recall seeing her run. So, uh, it's gonna be an interesting run. You expect Faith to win. There's a lot of victory dancing going on, but you gotta like it. I think he meant the long jump. He can't. That's how I interpreted average Joe. Maybe he meant in the long jump, in when maybe the technique. I don't know. Maybe. Well, let him clarify for sure. Yeah. Yeah, because Jasmine Jones had a fabulous year this year. Like fabulous. Yeah. And yeah, I guess they interviewed Nikki Hiltz, but I'm not sure what she's saying. I'd have to put the volume back on. Yeah, I figure that's what you meant vibrating higher. Yeah. All right, let's get this mile going. It's a lot of interviewing going on here. Well, let's see. We got Halo, Fate, Good of Sagai. Mm, I'm trying to see. This should be a good run. I mean, conditions may not be the greatest, but we should get. I would say, maybe anything better than force. Maybe what sub 417 would be good running in this kind of conditions. Maybe sub 4 minutes 15. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, good off for the world leader, 4:11:88. I would be shocked if we get anything close to that. Yeah. Commissioners, do you think Faith will continue running the 1500 meters? That's a very good question. She's done everything that you might want to do in the sport. She has the world record. She's broken the world record. I would say if she could try to push the world record once again, maybe that's something that she could do if she's in the best of shape. The thing is, I mean, Faith is not getting any younger now, and she's been around for a while. The What's the motivation? She has to have the motivation, right? And I'm not saying she's unmotivated, right? But at some point, yeah, something has to continually keep her, wanting to get up and run because everybody's coming. She's what, 31, so she's not old by any stretch, but it gets tougher, So, but I don't know what else Faith can do. She's undisputed in my mind as the greatest 1500-meter runner we've ever seen. So, I mean, the achievements are there. She's what, three Olympic medals, gold medals, right? Uh, in a row, right? Yeah. and then she's won what is it four titles in world championships or something like that. So yeah, that's a lot of gold medals there. Yeah. How you doing, Shamar? How you doing? Good. I'm doing well. Just watching this Athlos meet here. Uh, and doing a little watch along with a few people that's hanging out as usual. I'm not sure if you're watching the meet, but it's going on. It's good of Sagai getting introduced. It's pretty good meet so far. They're doing it. It's a lot of fanfare, people coming out. The athletes are getting a good amount of recognitions, the recognition to come on. Look at Faith Kipiegan now coming through, the goat, and yeah, it's I like it. Yeah. I'm trying to think if I'm gonna stay up and watch a little cricket tonight. I probably won't do that. All right. Fate looks cold, like it's not. It's chilly out there, so they should let them get this going. Yeah. So it's Free Winnie Halo, Nikki Hiltz, Edjor Sanders, Good Sagai, and Fate Kipiegan. Oh, Ochan is the pace setter. Okay. All right. They're about to start. Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good. All right. This pacer here is it's kind of a bigger runner here, like a 400-meter type runner. I mean, Gudovsa guys, like I'm gone. She's not even. She's ahead of the pacer. Also, Kipiegan is up on to the pacer as well. I don't think that they hired the right pacer for this. I'm gonna be honest with you. They did not hire the right pacer because both Gudovsa guy and Faith Kipiegan was like, let's. This is not. We're not having this. Are they trying to? I don't even understand what Faith Kipiegan and Gudovsa guy is doing here. Let's see what they come in at. This is like a minute 52 for the. That is. Ooh, a minute and 52 seconds. I'm trying to back it on calculation. That is pretty quick. Now it's just good off the guy, right? Running the pace and Faith Kipiegan right behind her. This is interesting. Like the rest of the field is not even in the mix. This is like a 30-meter lead. It looks like a 30-meter lead. Let me see it from the other angle. Oh, it's a lot more than 30 meters. It's like two women here running like they're trying to like they're trying to go for something themselves. I can't believe what I'm seeing here. I don't think Serena is commentating. I mean, she was just there handing out the stuff. I think it's Sanya and Paul who that's doing the commentary. I don't know. Yeah. You mean after? I think she's handing out the crowns. Yeah. This is pretty quick. This is definitely sub 4. I would say sub 4:15 pace at the moment right now. They're looking like they want to run like 4:10 or something. And Fed Kipiegan has had enough of good of Sagai and she's taken the lead. It's ridiculous running going here. It's like Kipiega now opens up a 10-15 meter lead on Sagai, and the rest of the field is nowhere to be seen. Good of Sagai is struggling, but she has such a big lead too. There's no way anybody can catch her. This is madness here from Faith Kipiegan. She's now opening up on Good of Sagai. That's a good 20-meter lead there. I don't believe I've ever seen something like this. Especially when you think about like at least Nikki Hills and Free Running Hairu are high quality athletes. So she's coming over about 200 left. This is gonna be 100 left rather. Ooh, this is gonna be quick. Faith Kipiegan there, just gonna blaze it away. This is gonna be like 420, I guess. 417 rather, yeah. 417.78. So Hiltz is coming in for third. Free Winnie Halo is trying to stay there, but she can't. Nikki Hiltz gets the third place. That's an interesting run. Uh let me get this up. Let's see. Let me look at these results. So 417.78. It's crazy run. 419.75. Those two times at this time of the year, big running. But in the end, again, Faith Kipiegan comfortably beating Good of Sagai. And Nikki Hiltz and the rest are like in the 430s, which I don't even think is a bad run given the conditions and the time of year. Look at that. That's an outrageous run there from Faith Kipiegan. So Goodoff, as usual, tries to push the pace, but it's not something that she can really put pressure. The pressure doesn't work for Faith or Beatrice Trebet when they run. Yeah. But good, it's kind of walk in the park they run for Faith Kipiegan. Only two more events left before this meet is over. Gabby is running in the 200 meters. Talou Smith again. Amy Hunt, I want to see that run. Amy Hunt, silver medalist from the World Championships. Anavia Battle as well there. Brittany Brown, Mackenzie Long. Yeah. And then after that, we get the 400 meters, which should be a cracker. Paulina is there. NASA, Henrietta Jager, Amber Anning, Irby Jackson, Alexis Holmes. You know, four women there in the final of the 800 of the 400 meters at the World Championships. This Brittany Brown is being interviewed here. All right, there's a lot of background interviews, which should make sense. Actually, I'm not against these interviews, especially for the TV people, because if you don't follow the athletes, then how would you know about them? And I guess they're trying to build an audience beyond the regular track and field audience. It's a lot of production value here. Yeah. All right, I guess they're gonna give Fate Kipiegan our crown right now. The undisputed GOAT. Serena's husband is responsible. Yeah, he is, Alex O'Haney. Yeah, he's pumping money in track and field. Serena makes Faith Kipiegan look really tiny. I mean, in terms of a height perspective, but also one is wearing heels too, for sure. But yeah, how fast do you think we'll get in the women's 200 tonight? Oh, can we get a sub? Well, I think we might get a 22.4 or 22.3. Conditions aren't the best. All right, Fate gets her crown. Next on the track, 200 meters. Let's see what happens there. It's a lot of money to put on a meet like this, which you gotta really push the boundaries. So yeah. Library, what you said, Gould Toppin made 1.3. You're out there calculating money, man. Hey, it's good. At least you know they got paid. Yeah, so it's two more events and we get out of here. I think there's like this picture, with Masai Rosa getting our money, Yeah. So I don't know if you guys saw too, but uh Megan Tapper is leaving Elite Performance, and she's gonna go to work with Lonnie Green there at Kentucky. So that's not too far. Interesting. I wonder yeah, Lexington. Not a bad look. It's like a vibe there in the stands. A lot of people bouncing around. Yeah. All right, they're gonna introduce these athletes here. Gabay coming out there from Cote d'Ivoire. Full track suit, so you know they're cold. Talu coming out too, in like a thick jacket right here. Hopefully, no one hurts himself at this time of the year because the temperatures aren't the best for sprinting. Mackenzie Long here. Yeah, the crowd having a good time there. Yeah, vibrating. Yeah. And Navia Battle coming through. Amy Hunt. Yeah, look at her. And then Brittany Brown comes out. Can Brittany Brown win both 1 and 2 tonight and pocket a good, nice check to close out the season? It is cold out there. It is cold, Tani. It's like, it's what, like, the last time I checked, it was like 58. Like, let's see what it is now. It's 58 degrees. It could be colder than that too. I don't know. It might feel colder. Yeah, I think the 200 stuff, yeah, you gotta just stay warm. Don't push it. And then it does, they take a while to introduce the athletes, which I guess they understood that this is happening. So that's why they're probably still in tracksuit. Guess they're a bit behind time now because they should have started already. All right. They're in the blocks. They're getting in the blocks now. Let's get this done. So good start there. It's kind of even right now. Talu running a good bend. Amy Hunt behind. Battle also running well. Brittany Brown also motor in there. But Anavia Battle moving. Brittany Brown is going to take the double here. Ooh. Oh my God. Did she just run 21:89? What in the world? I don't know if I believe this. Who's running 21:89 in this kind of temperature this late in the season? Whoa. 21:89 for Brown, Battle 22:21, Talou Smith 22:65, Long 22:74, 22:92 for Gabay and Amy Hunt 22:94. Look at that. Anavia ran a good bend too, but Brittany Brown was like pulling away as if she peaked for Athlos. Cha-ching, Brittany Brown, yeah, according to Vibrating Higher. Yeah, congratulations to Brittany Brown there. That is crazy. Mark says crazy time, Brown. Yeah, it is. Wow, it is a. I wouldn't have expected. I mean, the win was 1.9, so it's quite close to the allowable limit. However, just the conditions, 58 degrees out there, Fahrenheit, and yeah, it's a big run. So, so the 400 meters next, which I think will start a little bit delayed because it's scheduled for 9:03, but probably won't start till probably 9:10 because they have to crown Brittany Brown once more. Yeah, to run 2189. Let's just look at that again since we have some time. 20 personal best to 2189. That's a ridiculous run in October at the end of the season. I mean, maybe she's making up for the world championship. So a lot of feature here on Paulina as well. Why can't these? I don't know. It depends. I don't know what they're feeling. Yeah. I was wondering that too, vibrating about, maybe she wasn't just, she was still warm from that 100 meters, but I don't know. Yeah, stadium record too. Yeah, VCB from 2010, as you pointed out there. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a big, and then she had the meet record last year at 22:18, and to come back and run 22:21 rather 89 this year. Big running. I guess it's the VIP area there. There's a bunch of alcohol and drinks. Vibrating is like giving some, is cheering on Amber Anning. It's Brittany Brown, very happy. Well, Brittany Brown owns Athlos at the moment, defending her 200-meter title from last year, won the 100 this year. All right, so one more crown for Brittany Brown, and let's get this this 400 meters on track. I guess part of the Athlos thing is that when you win, you have to be able to you have to be a dancer too, which it's a party atmosphere. Irby Jackson, Alexis Holmes, Nasa, Paulina, Henrietta Jaga, Amber Anning. That's a stack field there. One woman on this 48 seconds this year, another running consistently low 48s in NASA. Silver and bronze medalist from the World Championship, the Olympic champion here. MJW on the stand there. She's getting interviewed. It's an interesting way they're like they introduced Jefferson Wooden and they put two-time Olympic medalist underneath her thing, as opposed to like she's also the world. She's like triple world champion this year, right? I know the Olympic stuff matters most, but you know you gotta also feature that on the tags. Yeah, MJW in the house for sure. I don't know if Shellian has done just as much as Jetta and some a lot more than Jetta. But anyway, I get it. All right, we need a 400-meter to go right now. I guess now Hunter is selling tequila. Interesting. I didn't know this. I didn't know they had a tequila company. Poet Simba says the way they're engaging the crowd during the race break is creative work. No, I think so. It's like an interesting kind of thing because I mean, maybe they've learned lessons from other meets, right? In well, another meet, but because if you don't have consistent events going on, you have to have a kind of party atmosphere or something for people not to feel bored, right? Hopefully, in the future, they'll have a lot more back-to-back stuff moving, one event after the next. But it's a really cool meet in terms of what they're doing here. Yeah, yeah. I was thinking about going, but I just didn't have the time to swing up there. But maybe next time when the league starts next year, we'll try to go to some. Irby Jackson getting interviewed right now. No, yeah, they definitely look like having party atmosphere. Yeah. And this is the kind of thing I've been saying. That's why I I don't know the answers to how you solve the 4-year divide, but it's a literal party out here. But the truth about track and field is that most people are watching it in an Olympic year, and you want it to be outside of the Olympic year as well. And so you have to take those casual fans and not the serious fans and give and get them in the sport, and that's the only way you grow the sport and the athletes can get more money, and you just got to do innovative stuff. So if this works, I like the idea here. The team stuff is what I'm really looking forward to. If they can actually pull this off the way they're anticipating, yeah, then who knows, you know? What I would love to see is like a team relay thing in track and field. Like I would love for like track and field clubs to like go to meets and do a lot more like relays, some 4x4s, 4x1s. That's difficult, obviously, if the track club isn't big, but it brings a kind of rivalry that can create an interesting thing. Yeah. Do you think Grand Slam track or something similar could make a comeback? I don't know what the status on Grand Slam track is right now, except that I knew they got an injection of cash just to help pay off the debt. To pay off some of the debt, it's not enough, right? So there are payments that went out to some athletes recently, which is uh which is good. But it's not. The problem that they're suffering right now is that they have to get an injection of cash to pay their current debt. That doesn't augur well for what will happen, for future seasons, because you presumably you have to be hunting the capital in order to move forward, and just to pay the current debt is a challenge. They still owe a lot of money. So having said all of that, I don't know. I'll be shocked if they came back without significant investment. And not only that, serious restructuring. I think you have to do less slams and maybe go other places and potentially definitely change the format of the meet, right? Maybe, yeah, I think they should probably try a 1 day meet first, or if they're gonna do less slams, they can still do like 2 days or so. There's some work that they would have to do to change it up. And I really think you need field events. I'm never gonna change my mind on that. Track and field is not successful or field. This had a long jump here, and so it's a smaller meet here at Athlos, and they're doing a lot more in the crowd to probably kill whatever downtime you would have, but something needs to be done there. Daniel says would be super cool to have seen a rematch between Pauline and Sid. Yeah, that it would be, but you know how that goes already. But NASA is here, and I think it's going to be a good race. I don't know how fast they're going to run. I'll be shocked if they run fast because it's cold. But having said all of that, Brittany Brown ran 21:89, and Faith Kipiegan ran a pretty decent 4 minutes 17 in really terrible conditions in the miles. So who knows? Yeah. With this kind of energy, if they had the men, it could be like an NBA All-Star game. There's just something with the energy when, yeah, I get it. I get it, but I I like I'm not against the women's sports, so I think you can grow a lot, and especially if you grow with a lot of young girls that might want to get involved in the sport, I think it can work. But I know, yeah, you know, I, I like the spotlight on the women too. Yeah, yeah. You need field events. I think field events is important, and you might not have everyone, but yeah, yeah. Uh, Mark says New Balance women is a very strong team. That's true. Yeah, if you can do teams, and whether you do it by sponsorship or track clubs, that would be an interesting mix for the sport. And I like that type of stuff for, and men and women too. I think a lot more competitions on the circuit would look good if people show up like that, and not only like Athlos or whoever wants to start this, but I think it would be neat. Yeah. All right, so last event for the night. Irby Jackson here. So I could clean start right now. So Paulina is NASA's trying to make the stagger up on Paulina. She's actually doing that a little bit. Irby Jackson running decent. I think NASA might be in the lead right now. But Paulina's probably gonna do a big move right now. Usually she starts to run on this on the 300. So it's a Paulina and NASA kind of run right now. And Paulina is pulling away from NASA and she's pushing and she's eating this away. It's about 50 seconds as the flash time there. It's like a tough run. 50.07 ahead of 50.94. I think that's good running given the conditions, given the time of the year. Yeah. So 50.07 for Paulina. NASA 50.94, who kind of worked the first 200 there, 250, I would say. But once you got it, and was with Paulina on the home stretch, but Paulina gets that extra push there, our usual run. Well, well, that was Athlos, guys. Let me just check this results again. So it's Paulina 50.07, NASA 50.94, Henrietta Jaeger rather 51.24, Alexis Home 51.74, Irby Jackson 51.93, Amber Anning 52.86. To run, 50s in this kind of temperature, it's really good. Well, yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna call it. Gotta go. But it was good hanging out with all those of you who come through as usual. I'll be back for a live. We're doing a live on a joint live with me and Leighton Levy on Sunday in the evening. So do join us for that. We'll talk more about this meet and other stuff related to track and field. I have an interview out right now on the channel in our latest video with Tim Adams. So if you haven't seen it, don't forget to check it out. And yeah, we'll catch up next time. Take care.